All rise, please. Summit County Court of Common Pleas is now in session. Your Honorable Christian Kirsch is presiding.
Thank you, may be seated. Ms. Bishop, go ahead and call the case, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're here today for State of Ohio versus Corvette Pope, case number 2024-08-2683B. We're scheduled today for sentencing. Ms. Pope is present in the courtroom today with her attorneys, Attorney Kotnick, Myers, and Bizzo.
Thank you. Go ahead on behalf of the state.
Thank you, Your Honor. We do have representatives from Paige Calich's family here today. It is my understanding that there might be at least one victim impact statement read today. I will defer to Elizabeth Kisner on that. Before they would speak, Your Honor, the state just wanted to briefly state Ms. Calich was gunned down on July 28th of 2024. She was gunned down in front of her toddler son, and feet away was her daughter. To say her death was senseless is an understatement. At the time of the shooting, Paige was at home with her son preparing a meal. She stepped out only briefly, was gunned down by Denzel Pope as his sister Corvette Pope watched. The state is asking for 5 years in prison for Corvette Pope.
Thank you. All right, on behalf of Ms. Calich's family.
Your Honor, the victim does not wish to be on video camera.
Okay, so I will inform the media then not to video her as she makes her statement. Come on up to the podium. Yes, ma'am. And then if you would just state your full name for the record, please. Beauty?
That's fine.
Okay, come on up to the podium. Go ahead and tell me your full name, please.
Hello, my name is Jamira Tomlin.
Spell your last name, please.
T-O-M as in Mary, L-I-N as in Nancy.
Ms. Tomlin, go ahead, please.
I was one of Paige's really good friends. She was very caring, very strong. She was a ball of energy. She helped a lot of people. She cared about a lot of people. If you were one of her friends and you had children that was around, she'd treat your kids like hers. And the way that she got taken away from us, it wasn't right, it wasn't fair, and nobody deserved it. Her kids, her mom, her sister, nobody. She had a lot of people that was behind her and had her back, just like how she had our back. And it's just really not fair that she's not here to be with us anymore and can continue to be there with her kids and just keep making memories with us. And I just really hope that my friend gets justice for what was done to her and done to her kids. And I just want everyone to know that she was a very bright soul. She was a very great person to get to know.
Thank you very much.
Won't be able to see her no more.
Thank you very much. Ms. Pope.
I wanted to apologize for my actions the night of Paige's death, and I am truly sorry to her family and friends and her children for my actions and also my brother's actions. And I hope one day that you guys could forgive us.
All right, thank you. Well, a couple things, I victim impact statements. I sat through the trial last week of Denzel Pope. I listened to the evidence, and what astonishes me more than anything is that over a physical fight, the death of someone resulted. And if this is how people in their 20s handle controversy, our society is doomed. Because that is not how we handle controversy. Furthermore, I love the way that you have somehow turned all of this as if you're the hero. I understand that the state has a responsibility to maybe make a deal with the bad actor in order to get the worst actor. Make a deal with the devil and get the devil's other half. But you are not innocent in this. I knew it from the time you testified. You minimized your behavior. Your friend Honesty took the stand. And she, by the way, I believe is the only one that told the truth that day. You weren't going over there to get an apology. Who goes to get the apology? The apology comes to you. You were going over there to beat up Paige, and that's why you had Honesty and your brother with you as backup. So for you to sit there and claim all of these things, I was not born under a rock, neither was the jury, and they didn't believe that portion of your testimony. You had guns in your house. Your brother clearly came out of your house with that gun. You have children in that house, and you let him store a gun in that house. You knew he committed a robbery in February in Youngstown, was on bond, knew he was charged with weapons charges, wasn't allowed to have a weapon then, and still let him have weapons in your house. So you are not an innocent actor. You are not the savior of the state's case. I believe the evidence was strong enough they could have proceeded and convicted Denzel without your testimony. And you'd be looking at significantly longer time in prison. That being said, you are not deserving of community control. And therefore, based on the facts and circumstances of this case in consideration of the relevant sentencing factors, applying the minimum sanction the court has determined will protect the public and punish the offender without imposing an unnecessary burden on state or local resources, I'm imposing the following. On the amended charge of indefinite sentence of a minimum of 5 to a maximum of 7.5 years in the Ohio Department of Corrections. On count 7, obstructing justice, I'm giving you 36 months in the Ohio Department of Corrections. I'm running those 2 counts concurrent and not consecutive for a total indefinite sentence of 5 to 7.5 years in the Ohio Department of Corrections. I find that these charges clearly do not merge based on the evidence and the acts that happened during and after. Furthermore, I find that after serving your sentence, you will be facing 2 to 5 years of mandatory post-release control, which again is supervision by the Adult Parole Authority. Any violations of their rules could subject you to being returned to prison for up to half of your prison term for all violations of their rules and regulations. You'll be given credit for 378 days that you have served in the Summit County Jail. And while you may receive good time or earned credit, it is possible for you to earn good time credit of 5 to 15% against your minimum sentence for good behavior. I have the right to deny that good time credit, but before doing so, I must have a hearing in order to make that decision. Regardless of whether you receive good time credit, you will be released when you finish your minimum term unless the Ohio Department of Corrections determines that you must remain in prison for bad conduct. If you are not released when your minimum term ends, you will serve an additional specified period of time and be given a new release date. You will also be released on that date unless you are again denied release for bad behavior. This process could repeat until you are released or you finish your maximum term. I am not imposing any fines, but I will take judgment against you for the cost of this prosecution, and there will be a minimum of $5 a month paid to the Summit County Clerk of Courts from your commissary account every month, and it will not exceed $5. I hope you take the next 5 years, or 4 years, whatever it is, to consider how you decide you want to raise your children when you get out of prison, because if you don't break the cycle, it's going to keep continuing. You'll be conveyed to the Ohio Department of Corrections at Marysville through the Ohio Department of Corrections, and will be housed there for the pendency of your sentence. Anything else I may have to state?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Kotnick?
No, thank you.
We're adjourned.